just want to thank the Lord for this time. So, and uh, as a as a child growing up, I was brought up a Catholic and was indoctrinated. Went to parochial school. Um, Life seemed no problem. We lived in a what might have been considered today a poor neighborhood, but everybody else was the same. So we never knew we were poor. So, and we didn't want for anything. My father worked two jobs all the time, and just about scraping together so we make a living. And so, uh, getting out of grammar school, which is first to the eighth grade, I went into high school, and went into the public school system at that time. And this it was a whole another door opened up because we were Catholics. You did everything that the church wanted you to do. You attended church. You did the novenas and everything else like that. Now all of a sudden you seem free and you didn't have to do any of that stuff. So gradually I just walked away from the faith. And in the process of walking away, I don't know. Sometime I got depressed. I had no I don't know what brought it on or anything, and I just wanted to end my life. So I attempted suicide. I jumped out of a two-story window and landed on my feet and just injured my legs. Didn't break nothing, just injured my legs and practically walked away from it untainted. So uh, little did I know it's God working something in my life. At that time, I didn't know God, and to say to give praise to Him that He I didn't actually die at that moment. So then everything went like it was just a normal life. I worked and everything until I went into the service. And while I was in the service, trying to get some dates, we used to get good. Uh, Somehow in the USO we had dances and everything. So looking to date a girl, and you can date, you make the request and everything. They said most of them said if you come to church Sunday. So, but and this is the first experience I had of going into a Protestant church. So when I first walked in the door, now my whole belief in Catholicism just like exploded in my mind, and I felt that I was excommunicated. That means that the church kicked you out, and because I went into another church. And that's the first experience I had of God, just somehow telling me something, but I still didn't know what it was all about. So from then on, I just doing the normal things in life. I got married, had three kids at the time. My life was really good. I had a business. I was making money. I had no problems. But after marriage got boring, so I was seeking other things. So I met a girl in a bar and everything, and I had an affair for quite a while with her. And I was at the point of uh, going, breaking up and divorcing my wife. So we was um, we was arguing back and forth about who's going to have the kids, who's going to have the house, what should we do, make things like that. So we finally got a lawyer, and they were supposed to be working things out. So, but during this time that happened, my sister got saved. She got saved like 2 or 3 years prior to what I'm about to tell you is happening, and she constantly told me to read the Bible and do this, and God's looking out for you and everything like that. And I criticized her all the time and saying, you have all your problems in life. I don't have problems. You need a crutch. I don't need a crutch. So my life is different than yours. Why do I need God? What is He going to do for me that I can't already do for myself? So, but she was persistent. That's the thing. And on almost every time we talked or met or something, I didn't want to. I didn't look to get her out of my life because of, she's became a Jew, a Jesus believer, a Jesus freak. I used to call her. So anyway, uh, she continued in her ways, and finally one day I got really mad. I says, get me a Bible, and I'm going to show you all the fables and stories and everything else that it's just a book. So sure enough, she gets me a Bible and everything, but I don't read it. I get just got it. I put it in my office. It was on my desk in the office. I don't know how long before before I actually opened it up, but she was presented. Did you read it? Did you read it? When are you gonna read it? What's happening? So one day there was wasn't busy or anything, and I was in my office and the Bible's on the desk. So I says, "Oh, what should I do here?" I decided that the phone rang and my lawyer was on the phone, and he said to me, "What are we going to do? How are we going to handle this here thing?" And then he put me on hold, and he says, "I'll get back to you in a minute." While he had me on hold, I opened up the Bible, and the book opened up to Matthew 19:6, which says, "What I have joined together, let no man put asunder." And I mean, the words were like bold and like they jumped out of the book, and I knew it was God speaking, even though I don't know God. I know it was Him speaking. So then he says hello, and he got back on the phone. I says, "Joel, I'm not going to get a divorce. Send me a bill, and I can't tell you why. You won't believe it anyway. So, just send me a bill." And I hung up on him. But I was too afraid to read the book. I threw it in the garbage. I was afraid of it, right? It says it was driving me crazy that I did that, but I didn't take it out. So it comes to happen. Maybe my assistant then constantly saying, "Did you read it? Did you read it?" But I didn't want to tell her that I did, And finally one day she somehow blurted out and says, "I know you read that." He said, "Well, what's happening?" So I didn't tell her anything. I said, "I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it right now." So and as it happens, one day I had nothing to do on the job in my office, and I pulled the Bible out of the garbage, and when I put it on the desk, it opened up to Revelations chapter 22, and the last three verses where it says, "If you add to this book, the plagues of the book will be added unto you, and if you take away the blessings that are in this book will be, taken away from you." And like the same thing happened, like with the divorce thing. The words were so bold, jumped out of the page, and I was afraid. It was God saying to me, "If you're going to look into my word and challenge me, don't change a thing and don't add to it. Have an open mind." How these thoughts come to you, I don't know. Why would I think of something like that? And there it is. So I opened it up, and sure enough, it so happened that I finally decided to go to church when she invited me. And the first sermon that happened, that it was convicting, the service. So when the service was over and we're outside the building, I was angry at my sister because I thought she told the pastor everything about my life. That's how convicting this here thing was. She says, "No, I didn't say nothing. It was God speaking to you." Says, and now I'm thinking, it says, yeah, well, I know that God spoke to me in those two passages, right? And from there, my life has started to change. I stopped seeing my girlfriend and started drinking, and of course I used to drink on weekends a lot also. So that was taken away. I had a vocabulary that consisted of foul words like every other one. I was not a, an eloquent speaker to begin with, and this it was just a way of being a man's man. You got this chest sticking out and something like that. The foul words made you a better guy or something. And anyway, so gradually, I was going to church and I started to believe, and I started a Bible study in my house. Well, across the street from me anyway, a neighbor, and the neighbor had children there. They were running wild. They were just crazy kids, and one of the girls was called the queen bee of the block. Like she was the leader. She was into drugs. She was into everything you can think of, sexual things and everything. And she used to perform on the stage sexually and everything. Her daughter. So we used to pray for her specifically. So she got pregnant one day, one of these days during the prayer, and we praying that the Lord would somehow send somebody that would take care of this here child, because she already put up the baby for sale. So when we're praying for it, and God spoke to me and says, "You're the person that's going to take her." What? I got 3 kids already. I'm going to have to take care of this here kid. So I brought it to my wife, and she says, we have to, because before I went to my wife with this here, the girl went to my wife and says, could you take care of my child? Because I got to go perform down south, and I'll be back, in I don't know, a couple of weeks. She had a show to go to. So it was a striptease show. And my wife was taking care of the baby, but she didn't come back for like 4 months, and we were taking care of this child. So when she finally came back, she wanted to know if we wanted to buy the kid. So she says she wants $2,000. So I says, "Whoa!" I talked to my wife. I says, "Wait, look at what we got. We got 3 kids already. They're my youngest is 14 years old at the time, and we're going to start a family over again." I didn't want to do it, but she says, "So let's put a bluff to her and tell her that no, we don't want to pay the money. You can take the baby back." So she says, "No, you can keep the baby. You don't have to give me anything. You can keep the baby." So as it was, we finally went to a lawyer. We went through the process of adoption, and we adopted her finally. So, and from there on, it was just living the Christian life, and God blessed me numerous times, spoke to me numerous times for things, and my life has never been the same, or never better. Even though it doesn't conform to the worldly ideas of what's good and bad, it was godly. So, and that's my testimony.